Rudy, what is going on?
We are completely locked up. Quality in Utah. They're breaking in or trying to break us out.
Were you able to call a locksmith?
Yeah, we do already. They are on way, sir. But before they come, we are tried our labor.
Oh, do you know how long it's going to take for them to get here?
They are on way, sir.
Well, Rudy, I'm glad I brought you. Well, I mean, not just for this reason, of course, but
I think that the Lord had a plan.
yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I would have just, you know, hit it with it. I don't have a hammer, so that wouldn't work.
I think I'll go up or down and release that.
Yeah.
That pin is stuck.
We managed to get out with the help of the clerk. Well, they're not main. I don't know what. They're just the managers. But anyways, we're in another room now, and we're gonna go to bed so we can get up in the morning.
Yeah. Now we can chill.
Yeah.
14-hour drive and
Yeah.
it's time to chill.
All right, guys. Well, it's the next morning, and we got a little bit of sleep, except for there's a lot of people walking around outside and people walking around up top. But anyway, got some coffee, quick Bible reading in here. Then we're gonna head over to the convention center. Hey guys, welcome back to the shop. As you probably know if you've been watching the channel, I've been getting ready for Blade Show West for like the last month or 5 weeks, something like that. Well, Blade Show West just wrapped up 2 days ago. I came home yesterday and I wanted to give you guys a little recap of that experience and talk about a few things, so that's what this video is about. So I drove up on the 3rd from Texas to Utah, Salt Lake City, Utah with my buddy Rudy. And pretty uneventful drive up there, about 14 hours, and we just went, stopped maybe 3 times, got in there maybe around 8:30 at night to the hotel that I had booked, and got squared away there. And the room they gave us had damage to the door frame and the door latch and stuff, and so it would not shut or secure, which of course you can't leave your hotel room with any of your stuff in it if it's not going to shut. So we got it to shut, and then it would not open, which we happened to be on the inside of the hotel room. And so I called the front desk, and they worked for like an hour trying to figure out how to get us out. We eventually were able to break out from the inside, take apart stuff, and get out of the hotel room. So they gave us a different room, but that was an interesting experience. And you know, I had different ideas flashing through my mind. You know, just not quite how I had hoped to spend Blade Show, being trapped in a hotel room, but we were able to get out and everything was okay. So we didn't get there early enough on the 3rd, the day before the show, to set up and everything like that, but you have about an hour and a half to get set up for the show on the first day. So we got over to the convention center and waited around a little bit until they got us our badges and let everybody in, the makers in, exhibitors in at 8 o'clock. Got our table set up, got everything laid out there, and we're ready for the show. I brought about 50 separate items, mostly knives, and about 10 hatchets and a couple of axes. And so I had a pretty full table, and I didn't really know how much I was gonna sell, but I wanted to be prepared, and if I didn't sell stuff at the show, I'm gonna sell it on my website anyway. So the number of sales at the show was not my primary concern, but I wanted to have a full table, and we did, so that was awesome. Almost everything was hand forged stuff. I got a couple of stock removal knives, and like I say, some forged axes and everything like that. So pretty good spread, some Damascus, things like that. I didn't have anything like super high end. The Fire Creek Forge brand, which I'm going to talk about in another video, is I think really kind of geared towards higher end but accessible working knives. And so that's what I had on the table. Show opens, people start filtering in. This is my first show, so I really have nothing to judge it by. But there was a fair number of people, and I spent quite a bit of time actually walking around and talking to other exhibitors and just see how they were doing, seeing their stuff, and asking them how it was going and things like that. Over the course of 2 days, the main theme that I heard is that it was relatively slow, pretty slow for sales. And some guys did really well, some guys didn't sell anything. And so the general theme that I noticed was that kind of tactical type stuff was what was moving at the Blade Show West there in Salt Lake City. Which I wouldn't apply that to, I wouldn't assume that that's how other shows are, but that's what seemed to be moving at the show here, at that show. That's not really what I was selling. And so I ended up selling total of 3 knives at the show, which is not a lot, but it's better than nothing. And again, as I mentioned in previous videos, I didn't have high expectations for the show because it's my first show, and that's a big thing. And then depending on what people are looking for, there's a lot of variables, and so I didn't really know what to expect. I didn't expect a lot. So 3 knives was great, and you always feel like there's a potential to sell more, and so I had to keep reminding myself, hey, it's okay. We're here for multiple reasons, which I'll talk about. And the sales were slow, but it was okay. The entire outlay for the trip is, between $1,500 and $2,000. Maybe $1,600 to $1,700. So I'm not sure that I even quite broke even actually, but there's other reasons for going to the show, and so let me talk about those. Aside from just trying to sell knives, the reason I finally got to a blade show and why I wanted to go in the beginning and will continue to is because, so for example, most of the people that buy knives from me, I don't think they have ever heard of blade show, or if they have, they've probably never been to a blade show. But there was a lot of people at the blade show. The point I'm trying to make is that there's a lot of different stratas to the knife market, the knife world. And so this is an area that I have never approached or never started to get into, and so I wanted to start doing that to try to continue to get exposure, get more exposure, and get my name out there, get my product in front of people and stuff like that. So that was accomplished. So a lot of people came by the table, had a lot of compliments on it. People picked knives up, it feels really good, like, yeah, it's made to be used, it works really well, blah blah blah. Talking to people, handing out some business cards, etc., etc. So that was accomplished just on the building the business side of it. For sales, and I feel like that kind of exposure is sort of investment into the future. And then next year or just in the future, when they look at the business card, they're gonna go to the website, or they're gonna come back to another show, and that's just part of business. It's just part of selling product and building a business. And so it's advertisement. You got to pay for advertisement, right? So there was that, and we accomplished that. Secondly, or additionally, I wanted to see other guys' stuff. It seems like everywhere I live, I'm kind of in the middle of nowhere, and there's not any close mastersmiths with the ABS. I wanted to look at their stuff, and so I was able to do that. There was a couple of different guys there that had their journeyman sets for sale out there, and by that I mean they had the 5 knives that they made and presented to judges, and those knives were judged and they passed for their journeyman smith rating with the ABS. But that's something I've been interested for a while. I've been a member of the ABS for I think 5 years now. Just haven't taken the time or had the time or whatever to focus on that. Part of it too is I want to make sure that I'm up to where I need to be before I sign up for the testing and actually go that direction. I want to make sure my skills are up to that. And so part of that is looking at other guys' stuff and seeing where it's at, fit and finish wise, quality wise, and everything like that, and knowing where my stuff matches up. So that was helpful. I appreciated that. And then there was some master smiths there. I got to look at some of their stuff. And so just kind of getting a feel and an idea for where I'm trying to get to, or am I there yet, or whatever the case may be. So that was helpful. I got to talk to guys, different makers and stuff, and got some different ideas, got to see others, different ideas. So all of that's helpful in the overall picture of what I'm trying to do here, and what anybody's trying to do, I guess, as a knife maker, whether it's professionally, like I am doing, still trying, or as a hobby, or you're trying to get better. We're always trying to get better, right? There's more to learn, more to do. So that was helpful. What else? One thing I'll just mention before I forget, I won't forget, but I'll mention it, that was really great is that I got to meet probably 12 guys. I don't remember the exact number, but you guys watching the channel, would either come by the table or I'd be walking through and they'd say, hey, I watch your videos, thanks for the content. That's awesome. And that was probably the highlight of the show for me. Just you guys out there watching the content here, getting the feedback that it's helpful, that you appreciate the content. That was just fun to meet you guys in person. And I'm terrible. Well, okay, I'm not terrible with names. I just don't remember names very well. And so I don't remember everybody's name, but you know who you are. And so I just want to say again, thank you for watching the content. Thanks for coming to the show and stopping by the table, talking to me. It was awesome to be able to meet you guys in person, shake your hand, and I really love that part of the show. So thank you, and we'll do it again in the future. That was awesome. So thanks, guys. I really appreciate that. I do want to do a special shout out to, I believe his name is Chris from American Warrior Forge. He gave me 3 of these Warrior wax. This is food safe wax. It's a combination of different oils and wax stuff for your blades and for the steel. And I'm definitely going to try this out. He actually had his shop burned down right before the show, actually. And he still had some bandages and stuff from getting burned and stuff. So, terrible thing. But his family was safe, and so anyway, go check out American Warrior Forge. Show him some love. Get some warrior wax. I'm looking forward to trying this. He forges knives and stuff too, but I'm looking forward to trying this on the blades, on the axes and things like that. He gave me 3 of these, so that'll be great. So American Warrior Forge, go show some love. Yeah, I can't imagine having my shop burned down. That would be devastating. What else? I got to talk to some different see some different suppliers and talk to some different people. I got to meet Andrew with Beaumont Metalworks, the grinders that he's sponsored one. They've sponsored one grinder here in the shop, and the other grinder was purchased, and it's all I've used, and I put hundreds of hours on them. Got to talk to Andrew for a little bit about his grinders and stuff like that, and just meet him in person. That was awesome. I got to meet some of the folks at New Jersey Steel Bearing, and they knew who I was because I may have ordered some steel from them a couple of times. So that was fun. I got a free hat and some stickers and stuff, and anyway, it was just cool. I actually picked up a piece of Magna Cut to try it out because I've had multiple people ask me about knives in Magna Cut, and especially like fillet knives probably need to be stainless steel. So I've used a couple of different stainless steels in the past, but I have not tried anything or worked with Magna Cut yet. So I bought a piece of that from the New Jersey Steel Bearing guys. Yeah, it's just kind of a first step. This is the kind of thing where you come back to go to the next show in a few months here, or well, several months here, and then maybe that same show again next year. And you kind of start building network and relationships with people, which is something that has really been lacking, that I've lacked in. Everything for me has been online pretty much, and then some local stuff, which has been good. But there's just a lot more to delve into and network with people and meet people, and that just helps. Helping each other out and everything like that. The general theme seemed to be that people, the public, and I've noticed this over the last couple of years. The inflation just is not helping. The cost of goods and everything, people are paying way more for gas, for groceries. I am, you are, everybody is. So whereas people used to have, $500, $600, $700 to spend on a knife, now they've got maybe 250, if that, And that, I really think has affected the knife market in general, and especially makers like me and other guys that were at the show. Like I say, some guys I don't think sold anything. Maybe other guys sold maybe one knife. That's kind of, I think, the overarching theme. And then, there was different handle material guys there with some really cool stuff. And I really wanted to buy some handle material. And I'll probably will online from some of those guys, but I just didn't, like, if I had sold 10 knives, yeah, I would have been stocking up on some cool handle material, but I just didn't have the leeway to do that, and so that's kind of how it works. Like, the public comes in, they have money to spend, they buy some knives, I go buy a bunch of handle material from these different people. Everybody benefits. The customer gets a really cool knife, I got to pay my bills, I got to go help the handle material and just knife supplies pay their bills, and it just works out. So the economy being the way it is isn't helping anybody else. So I really hope that gets better, less taxes, less inflation, get to spend more of our own money. That would be great. So Lord willing, we'll see what happens. But in the meantime, we are doing all right, and it was a good time at the Blade Show West. Yeah, so we wrapped it up. Headed out the morning after the last day yesterday, and hit the road, and ended up having to stop somewhere in New Mexico and change out the thermostat housing and the coolant temperature gauge temperature gauge sensor. Anyway, little mechanic in there, right there at the AutoZone someplace in New Mexico. Got things working again, and kept going down the road. Got home last night, spent today just shipping out some stuff, updating the books, all that kind of stuff, getting ready to get back in the shop and build some more products. So just want to give you guys a little update, and got a little bit of footage from the show. You know, I couldn't film everything. I had to be at the table and try to sell knives too, at least part of the time. But appreciate my buddy Rudy coming and really helping me out with that. That was awesome, and really just made a fun trip. I had to tell people though several times that I just can't take him anywhere because he's kind of the opposite of me. So that's probably why it works out. But anyway, it was a fun time. It was a good time. And last and most important, shout out to my beautiful wife who stayed here and held the fort down with the kids and the dogs and took care of everything as normal while I went off to Blade Show West. So thanks, babe. I appreciate the support. I couldn't do it without you. We'll be going to more shows, and hopefully, you know, things pick up for everybody and things get better. But in the meantime, we're hanging in there, and things are okay. Things are good. Appreciate you guys watching the content. Stay tuned for more groovy knife projects, and actually, I got some metallurgy stuff coming up here, heat treating and stuff like that on some different steels. But I don't want to give too much away, and I'll get to that as soon as I can. Appreciate you watching. We will see you on the next video.